forgive me for what I have done? Would you forgive me?
Hey Tone Freaks, welcome to Tone Quest, and you're in the Mix Machine studio in Lower Antipolo. Yahoo! Okay, so I have here two very similarly priced and similar in features Neve 1073 style preamps. Okay, if you don't know what a Neve 1073 style preamp is or what a Neve 1073 preamp is, go research on it. Just type Neve 1073, search for the history and what it did for our music industry, for our recording industry. Because the Neve 1073, I think, is the most recorded preamp in history. And it's like the go-to preamp of the big studios, the great studios out there that could afford 1073, Neve 1073 or authentic preamp, right? So I have here Warm Audio and Heritage Audio 1073 style preamps, and yes, they are clones of the Neve 1073, and they also have their own versions of the 1073, which is amazing because at this price point you cannot go wrong in purchasing 1073 clones at this caliber. Okay, so I just want to discuss what unit you should choose when buying a 1073 style preamp, because they are very similar, and mind you, I think these are the cheapest at their caliber. I think you can't find 1073 style preamps lower priced than this, except for that Chinese knockoff, which is also their version of 1073. I won't even mention the brand, but you get what you pay for, remember. Okay, WA273 is a 2-channel Neve 1073 style preamp, and the Heritage Audio 73 EQ is a Neve style 1073 with EQ. People will argue that the 1073 sound needs the EQ, because without the EQ, the 1073 sound isn't complete. But some will say that you're good enough with a 1073 preamp without the EQ. I'd argue, yeah, you'd survive without the EQ of the 1073, but you'll miss out on a lot of things and a lot of frequencies, a lot of mojo that a 1073 with EQ will do for your sound. Okay, in comparison to these two brands, let's go to the Warm Audio first. The Warm Audio 273 is a 2-channel 1073 style preamp, and I'll just pick it up. It's really heavy. I mean, the build quality of this thing is amazing. You really get what you pay for. This thing will cost around 56,500 pesos, and it's 56,500 of awesomeness. Like, it's heavy, it's huge, it has those UK built Carnhill transformers in them, and I have not taken this apart, of course, and I will not dare to. I'm going just look at some online pictures for what you can see inside. They're built really well. The knobs are really, they have that nice dented feel to it that's so super high quality. This is the input gain. This is your high pass filter and or low cut, and then your output, which is continuous, not dented. Okay, the knobs feel so good to hold, so good to turn. Okay, the buttons, really nice to press. They have that just enough resistance and just enough slack that makes it a pleasure to press. Okay, and power button, yeah. Okay, what's nice about the 273 are the features. Built really well. You also have great features. You have insert send and insert return. Those are both balanced, so you get a really good sound out of that. The mic inputs are really solid. TRS line also, line outputs and line inputs. And you have a ground lift switch, and you have a built-in power supply inside. Some may argue that if you have a 1073, the power supply must be outside to avoid the noises. And yeah, I think that's a very that's a that's a that's a very well thought of argument because power causes a lot of hum. Okay, so what other features this has? This has 48-volt phantom, cool. Polarity switch, cool. Tone switch, this is very special. I'll discuss in a bit. Line, of course, your insert for the insert, and your instrument input, which is at the front. Very awesome, very, very awesome. Okay, so why do I love this thing? First of all, the sound. I love how it sounds, and I love how it's built. Okay, the build quality of the Warm Audio products will really outmatch the Heritage Audio. And I have to admit to myself that build quality matters. Of course it does. It's not just sound quality. And if you hold this thing, you're gonna know it's built really well. Buttons are great. The step knobs are awesome. Metal is good. It's spotless out of the box. And then you have the tone switch. The tone switch, I think, is Warm Audio's special mojo thing for their 1073 clones. This tone switch gives you more saturation on the preamps. Instead of a two-step incremental dB increase, 2 dB increments of gain, you get 4 dB increments of gain. And it just opens up the sound, opens up the preamp, opens up the mics, and it really accepts the sources with a bit of saturation. That's awesome. Okay, what else do I love about this thing? Okay, you can use this thing for bus mixing. Okay, not a lot of people would agree to that, but if you want saturation on your stereo bus, use this and it will give you sweet saturation even on the master bus. I'm telling you, I've done it. I've tried it on my mastering jobs and my mixing jobs. My clients love how the saturation is sounding, and I would agree, because every time I mix and I incorporate the 273 on the stereo bus, it really makes the music sing. I also engage the tone knob, the tone switches, and it really provides a good butterscotch and chocolatey sound around the stereo track. If you don't believe me, try it out for yourself. I can send you samples if you want to hear. Okay. Alright, let's move on to Heritage Audio. I've been raving about this, and let's rave about this too. This is lighter, a lot lighter, because it's a single preamp, so you really can't compare apples to apples. This has the EQ, this doesn't. Okay, but right off the bat, just holding it and seeing how it's built, this is a more rugged, more boutique style to it. It's like it's more hand built, in a sense that there's a lot of imperfections to the body, how the aluminum isn't 100% polished. There's some scuffs right here and there, but what they say is this is closer to the build quality of a Neve 1073, and I would agree, because I saw some designs of the 1073s, and they look more like this than this. This is a more polished unit than an original 1073. And I could say also about the Heritage Audio captures that vibe more than the Warm Audio. It doesn't have the tone switch-a-maroo that this one has, but this one though has a pad switch that the Warm Audio doesn't. So it has a pad switch, 48-volt phantom, which is kind of flimsy. I might knock this while I'm taking. Line switch, a low Z for low impedance microphones, phase, same here, and the EQ on switch. Okay, The EQ is very important to the 1073 sound, some will argue, but I'd survive without the EQ. Okay, the only reason why I want the EQ in is so that I can tailor my bus to to specific low frequencies or high frequencies. So add stuff. Okay. Off the bat, when I compare these two sound wise, this has a clearer sound, and people will argue that this captures the 1073 sound better than the warm audio 1073s. And also for the EQ side, the warm audio version of the 73 EQ has a selectable switch for the high frequency. This doesn't, but this is more accurate than the warm audio has to offer. Okay, would you like that? Do you like that accuracy, or do you like that added frequency selection from the warm audio? It's up to you. Okay. And another feature of the HA73 that I really like is the inclusion of an outboard power supply, just right here. Just a minute. Okay. Yeah. All right. The outboard power supply, it's not so big. It's all right. Adjustable, 100 volt to 20 volts. Any country, it will work. Okay. This power supply is awesome. It's an awesome idea because you can put some distance between the power and your unit, which in effect will cause less noise. So if there's something wrong with your, house or studio electricity, which shouldn't happen anyway, the warm audio will pick more of that noise than the heritage audio. Okay, what else? This one is plain Jane, no inserts, no TRS, just XLR, and then you gotta have custom cables for your line output and your line input. So yeah, kind of a bummer because I really like the TRS plugs, and now I need customized plugs. Okay, so yeah, I'll just make some later. Okay.
So I recorded using this dynamic Superlux instrument mic, so I can split it and run it through the two preamps. Okay, no EQ. I didn't turn on the EQ for this one. They are both at around 75 dB of gain, because I'm using this dynamic mic. It needs a little juice. Both at 75, both at 12 o'clock volume. No polarities, nothing engaged, and yeah. So let's see how it sounds. Forgive me for what I have done. I'm not a fool, I'm just a fool for you. Forgive me, forgive me. I'm not a fool, I'm just a fool for you. Would you forgive me? Forgive me for what I have done. I'm not a fool, I'm just a fool for you. Forgive me, forgive me. I'm not a fool, I'm just a fool for you.
right. If I were to choose between the Warm Audio and Heritage Audio, uh, I'd get both. I'd get both because I love them both, and they both have something to offer. Okay, the Warm Audio, in terms of sound, is more butter. There's more butter to it. There's a thickness to it. There's a thickness to the sound. It's like enveloping your audio with chocolate, and the Heritage Audio has clarity, more clarity than the Warm Audio, and some people argue that this one will sound better. I'd say they both have their characters, okay, and some people will say that they don't even come close to a real Neve. So I don't know. I have never experienced. Well, I do have experience with a real Neve before at Wombworks, and those sound really amazing. Those sound amazing, but I wasn't able to. I can't A/B them. I just remember that they really sound good, but I can't really tell which captures you know that Neve sound better. But all in all, they sound good. They sound good, and they sound great together. I mean, this one for your stereo bus, this one to EQ some source signals, some sources, and yeah, you can definitely use this for mixing. And people will argue that no, you can't use preamps for mixing. Of course you can. You can. And you can use your 1073 style preamps for your outboard mixing. I've done it, and I'm loving it. I'm loving how my mixes are sounding because of using this on the bus, and using this as like an EQ for vocals, for bass, and whatnot. It just gives that added saturation. Get two of these, and you can use it for bus EQ as well, right? Two of these or one of this. That's just an awesome setup. Okay. So what will you choose? I can't. If well, so what will you choose? If you value build quality, and you value features, Warm Audio is the way to go. But if you value more of a more accurate representation of the 1073, and a more boutique kind of vibe, a more hand built kind of vibe, you go for the Heritage Audio. So yeah, if you're interested in one of these items, you can just there's a link below, so buying link below. Please contact us at Mix Machine, facebook.com/mixmachineprod/shop. That's our shop page. We have Warm Audio, we have Heritage Audio, we have Lauten Audio, we have Manly Labs Phoenix Audio, SSL6 is so good. Anyway, I don't have it here in the studio yet. So please like and subscribe if our videos are useful to you. Marco Roboto of ToneQuest and Mix Machine out. Thanks.
Forgive me for what I have done. Would you forgive me? Forgive me for what I have done. I'm not a fool, I'm just a fool for you. Forgive me. Forgive me, I'm not a fool, I'm just a fool for you.